I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Giants come away with a 2-point nail-biting win. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Edgerrin James is probably the one that most leaps out at you. X-rays confirming the original diagnosis, it's a broken ankle, and that'll keep him out for the rest of the season. In front of you, we've got the NFC list, and as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. Mike Flanagan might be the biggest loss on this list. Doctors confirming the worst this week, a torn hamstring, and that'll put him out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. Now we'll move on to our top story of the day. Amani Toomer is going to find himself in street clothes for the time being, and that'll be a major blow to this club. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
The Colts lost this one, but will stay at number 2 in the AFC South. Thomas Jones had yet another productive game, keeping his streak alive, but in the end, it wasn't enough to get the win. Tim Rattay was unstoppable through the air and helped his 49ers beat the Dolphins. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Raiders pick up win number 7. Redskins, Steelers. 7. Clinton Portis got the football here, and you know what? This was all individual effort as he broke off a big one. The Redskins go on to win this by the final score of 47-37. Way up in the northern plains in Minnesota, we had the Vikings come away with a decisive 10-point win. Up at Lambeau Field, we had the Packers come away with a decisive 10-point win. The Chiefs' defense pummeled their way to 5 sacks in their win at Arrowhead Stadium. The Jets won on the road and will now head home to meet the Texans. The Titans won this contest but will stay at the first place in the AFC South. Buccaneers, Panthers. Jake Delhomme is in the backfield. The line of scrimmage is the 17-yard line. Swings out to the left. A very quick pass. Shakes one tackle. Pulls over another one. Beautiful touchdown. The Panthers win this one by the final score of 45-36. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
Allen is on the move. Perhaps not for all that he thought he'd get, but a good deal nonetheless. 3 years, $1.4 million.
Corey Dillon had another fantastic week, and in the victory kept the streak of landmark stats alive. Warwick, well done, was responsible for over 150 yards rushing and helped his Falcons beat the Saints. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Browns win their 4th game of the year. And in our final game, we had the Seahawks come away victorious. So let's change things up a bit and turn to a guy that's had his eye on the college game, and that's our own Mel Kiper Jr. He joins us now. Mel, your work never ends, I know. Believe me, I know better than anybody else. But it's never too early to start thinking about next year's draft, is it?
Never too early indeed. And now that, for the most part, the regular season in college football is behind us, we can really start looking back at the guys that have impressed me the most across college campuses this year. McCormick is someone I think of right away when I think of the best prospects in college football. 6'2", 227, out of Missouri. And I think when you look at the top quarterbacks that are out there, there aren't many that possess the full package quite like he does. He'll probably be right up there among the first 2 or 3 quarterbacks drafted. Holloway is another guy that I truly believe will be a frontline NFL starter somewhere down the line. The way he's performed this year makes me believe that his stock is really rising in NFL circles. So that'll do it for now, but expect there to be plenty happening between now and April.
So another week in the books here on ESPN, but what do you say we hand out a few game balls before we go? Here's my primetime players. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.